Today's really, really tactical, and it's stuff that we've typically only shared with our clients. So if you're not a client and you're getting access to this, it's really awesome. 8 months ago, you could still post business content and it would do pretty well.
Yep.
Now you almost exclusively can't post business content. Do you want to introduce the 3 types of content that people should be posting?
Unless you're Hormozy, you've already got 2 million followers and you're recognized, it's very hard to get traction with business-specific content. The way the algorithms are actually changed is it's really just pushing towards more entertainment stuff now. There are ways that you can still have a business flair on it and attract the right people. We're going to get into the 5 content formats that are working right now. Steph, do you want to take us through the first content format? Welcome to episode 139 of the Success School podcast. Today we're talking about what is working in organic marketing right now. So we're going to give you guys a peek under the hood. We've had a real transition on this recently. We just hired a full-time content guy who lives with us in, I was going to say Dubai, actually. We're in Thailand. And yeah, it's been great. We've learned a ton and we're going to share that with you guys for free today. Steph, how are you feeling?
I think this might be our most valuable podcast episode for guys, we always try and provide you.
Yeah, especially when we just talk about our life. It's like extremely valuable for you. Yeah.
Today's really, really tactical, and it's stuff that we've typically only shared with our clients. So if you're not a client and you're getting access to this, it's really awesome and super highly valuable. So I'm pumped to give that away for free today. Just like kick off with personal updates.
Yeah, what's your personal update?
We just ran our best business retreat ever, I would say. And they get better every time. For the most part, we learn a lot of lessons every single time.
Besides Gold Coast, Australia.
Yeah, we did one on the Gold Coast, and we kind of messed it up, to be honest. A lot of reasons why, a lot of lessons, as you guys would know. Sometimes you got to make mistakes, you got to break a few eggs so that you know how to handle eggs.
An omelette, you know.
Really unsure what the entire of that saying is, but that's okay. Anyway, we made omelets, and it was an epic retreat, and we had a lot of feedback, people coming through saying like the quality of the people in the room was the best that it had ever been. And that comes down to multiple things. One, our marketing is definitely tailored to attracting people who are at kind of a different level and a different mindset in business. 4 or 5 years ago, our marketing, especially my marketing, was very much like attracting a certain archetype of person who probably really was looking for saving and probably wasn't the best kind of person to be having big dreaming thoughts with.
Steph loves saving.
I do like to save people.
Love saving.
And I also had some feedback that the conversations were really high level and that there was just no drama, no bitching, no nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And I bring that up because I wanted to have a conversation about the fact that in any container, 1 or 2 bad apples will spoil the apple cart. And literally at our last retreat, within a week afterwards, we fired 2 clients from the container. And put some other clients kind of on notice for their behavior. And I think that it was really uncomfortable at the time. Above all else, we needed to protect the community and what we've created. And I think we've done that. And that was testament to like the people that we had in the room and the ways that people were sharing and the conversations that were brought up and the safety of the community. And I say that to you guys because you might be listening thinking, especially if you work in a community, you create community as part of your role, or even just for yourself, one bad apple can spoil your entire business. And so it is incredibly important to throw the apples in the bin.
If you guys want to come to our next retreat in Bali in June, don't know if the date is. I was telling people it was the 17th of June. Apparently it's on the 1st or the 2nd. Yep, something around there.
See, I have no idea.
You guys got to be in Success School. I'm going to arguably say the best coaching mastermind there is available in the market for you. Way better than all the big names because we're actually in it and you guys get coached by us.
Yes.
And we're on the cutting edge of what's working in marketing. My personal update, actually too, quite a funny one. One of our clients, Sam, she asked me at the retreat, how do you guys plan your podcasts? And it's pretty funny because we don't really plan our podcast. We're kind of just ad lib and freeballing this shit. And it got me thinking. And it got me thinking of how far you've come actually in podcasting, because just want to tell a story about what your podcast used to look like when you had the Steph Gorton show in terms of like scripting.
It's just listening to that from the outside in, like, I just want to celebrate how far you've come, babe.
Yeah.
I've been great since the beginning.
I've been epic at free balling. I've been free balling since I was 10, you know?
For Steph, congratulations. Yeah. No, but real talk, he's right. I do need a congratulations is in order. And testament to like TBCR podcast producers, they've been with me since the very beginning. And I used to have a 14-page document that I would almost read word for word for my podcast episodes back in the beginning. And I'm a really good reader out loud, so like you wouldn't have known, but it was a lot to prepare, as you could imagine, and was not easy to record and was not really that fun either, to be completely honest. So have come a long way. Now we have just literally we have a couple of questions, and that's really it. Now we just riff. It is a lot. You make it fun and you make it easy. We figured out over time that it's just easier because we're coaches. It's just easier if we ask questions and then coach. Like, it just makes the most sense for us. And
I'll actually get into my personal update. So a friend of mine, Paul, good friend of mine actually, he messaged me this morning. He said, "Hey bro, are you wearing a fat suit in your videos? You look like you've gained 15 kilograms. You get that kind of message and immediately like alarm bells start ringing. So I go through looking at my content. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. Josiah's doing me a fucking dirty here. I'm looking like a fat fuck. So before this podcast today, I hope I look a bit leaner because I've lost 4.4 fucking kilograms, which is amazing. I've been on a diet, boy. Let's get it. The cameras, I made sure they're working. I've got a bit of a slimming effect on the cameras here. So hopefully I don't look as fat as previous episodes on there, but down 4.4 kilos. I'm taking something called retaruteride, which is a peptide. They call it the triple action or the triple threat. So it limits your hunger, makes your body burn more fat. And the third one is a mystery that you guys will have to listen to find out for the rest of the episode.
While he Googles it, while he ChatGPT.
While I Google it. So anyway, my personal update is not as fat as it was, and on the journey to 90 kilos. Let's go.
In 6 months, you're going to be in the best shape you've ever been in your life.
Yeah, but I've been saying that for like the last 26 months.
I feel like now we're both dialed in. Look, there's a lot of personal updates about fat to skinny, and we're on it. We're both on it.
Yeah,
we're doing it.
We've both been chunked.
We ate a bit more than we should have.
Our food is our passion.
Hands up. Officer, I'm guilty. All right, let's get into
tell us what we're talking about, because I don't know what this episode's about today.
So today we're going to break down how organic marketing is working right now, what's changed, how people are using platforms today. And at the end, we're going to go through 5 content formats that are stupid easy to make that will grow your profile and get you followers. So I think we should kick off with what has actually changed in organic. So Tim, what has changed in organic? Like, how are people consuming content differently to how they were maybe even 12 months ago?
Yeah, so the algorithm always changes, and what they're trying to do now is just optimize for entertainment. So people just have a great time on the app. So if you look at any of the trending stuff, or typically anything that is doing really well on social media, it has a high entertainment engagement score, or basically it's very shareable. Stuff that's not doing well is business content, particularly like bottom of funnel content where I'm trying to teach some kind of business strategy. Unless you're Hormozian, you've already got 2 million followers and you're recognized, it's very hard to get traction with business specific content. So the way the algorithms are actually changed is it's really just pushing towards more entertainment stuff now. There are ways that you can still have a business flair on it and track the right people, which I'm sure we're going to go to. Anything I missed on that?
No, I would say the one thing I'm going to add here, and I really want to talk about, is like, I really need you guys to think about the way that you are using social media right now. One, you're getting on to create content probably, and then you put your phone down, and then most of you are checking your phone at least 5 to 10 times more per day. You're picking it
per
up,
minute,
but maybe, but like, let's imagine that you're picking it up. If you actually think about, it's subconscious, right? But if you actually think about, if you put intentional awareness behind it, what you're going to notice is that you pick up your phone as a distraction. As okay, I'm doing something that's hard. I need a bit of time out. I'm going to pick my phone up and receive a dopamine hit. And because you're getting online, you're actively seeking out dopamine hits, the kind of content that you're going to love or resonate with or want to save or share or send to a friend are going to be pieces of content that give you dopamine hits. Now, that doesn't just have to be funny and entertaining. It can be that, but it could also be content that makes you feel something, motivated, inspired, sad, happy, whatever it is. You are getting online for a literal dopamine hit. So any kind of feeling that can be created online is what people are seeking right now. And so we actually had a presentation at our retreat from a guest speaker, and he spoke about the purpose of like social media content has been to make people feel something. And I think that if you think about the way that people are using it, your content now needs to shift towards, making people feel.
Steph, everyone says organic's dead. Is that true? Or just people just shit at making content?
Organic's definitely not dead.
Dying.
Yeah, I think we'll have slightly different opinions here. I do think that organic is dying, don't get me wrong. I think I don't think it's dead. The bar has raised so much.
Yeah.
Like, you are now competing with people who are posting
8
times a day.
Yeah.
Have entire media production teams, have hordes of editors. It's their number one job just to, some people are getting paid $300,000-$400,000 a year just to create content for people that goes viral and is being tracked and measured. Like, you can't compete with that if you're earning under $100,000 a month.
Yeah.
So it's not dead in the way that, and if you're in a blue ocean, like, we have some clients that like basically have no competition and they're posting 2 or 3 times a day and they're
great
crushing.
Place to be in.
Great place to be in. But if you're in one of these red oceans, and a red ocean being a market that's like an online fitness coach, an online business coach, an online nutritionist, you know, an online fitness business coach, you're going to be really struggling to use organic. And so I think organic has dramatically changed, and the bar has gotten so high that if you're relying on it for income, you're probably doing yourself a disservice.
Yep.
Do you think it's dying though?
I think it's definitely less effective than it was. You know, we had this chat many times throughout the retreat. We had actually a client of ours, Luke, and I don't even know why he asked me this pretty dumb question, but he was like, "Hey man, I got 46 followers and my content's just not landing." I was like, "Bro, you're on the wrong medium here. Like, you're not going to get any meaningful gain in your business by posting with 46 followers." Social media really is about having an audience and nurturing that audience over time. And, you know, you need to have more than 46 followers.
So let's go through what kind of content is working then, because it's definitely changed. Like, content has 100% changed. Like, literally 8 months ago, you could still post business content and it would do pretty well. Now you almost exclusively can't post business content. You can, but it's just got in a bit of a roundabouts way. Do you want to introduce the 3 types of content that people should be posting? And a bit of an overview? Yeah.
So about mid-January, we hired our content guy, Josiah. We were actually, I think we were in the spa in December having a chat. We were like, man, we should take this content thing a bit more seriously. So we hired Josiah, committed about $200,000 to that project over this year. And as soon as Josiah came in, he did a review and an analysis on our accounts. And basically he said, you're just doing bottom of funnel content, and that's why your accounts are not growing. And I kind of had like the mind bomb, because we've top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel from the ads days, or, you know, the old ad strategies that we used to run. And it made complete sense to me, is that most people, you know, in coaching and service businesses, they're just running bottom of funnel content, which is only specific to a certain amount of people, which means it's not very shareable, it's not very likable, and it's not very engaging. Whereas top of funnel is stuff that has more broad appeal, is more shareable, more engaging, and more people are going to like it. And middle of funnel is more content that's going to get people engaging and interacting with you while you're also giving them some value. Anything I missed on that?
That was absolutely perfect. Nailed it completely.
So, Steph, how much should people be posting every single week? That's like the golden question that we always get answered.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go through how often you should be posting top, middle, and bottom. So top is like that engagement content, and we will go through, in the end of this episode, we are going to go through the 5 content types, and those are predominantly top of funnel. So we're going to go through exactly like what's working in top of funnel right now, because what we found when we were in a room of 60 entrepreneurs is that most people had no idea what to do for top of funnel. They were really good at middle and bottom of funnel, and mostly bottom of funnel. So we will give you guys the 5 content frameworks that are working for top of funnel at the end of this episode. But top of funnel should be around 40% to 50% of your content. That means that and you can do top of funnel content. Like, and we're talking like, you know, kind of funny, maybe you might see us, we've done some skits, some reels, things like that, some POV reels. Like, for us, we usually lean into funny because we're pretty funny and we want to naturally show that more online.
We're not funny.
We're really not that funny.
Dorky and nerdy.
You're so dorky and nerdy. And so your top of funnel content is going to be that know, like, trust attraction. So you want about 40 to 50% because you want to constantly be bringing new people into your world. Middle of funnel is going to be the kind of content that, you know, you're probably going to share as like a mini chat link, you know, get people commenting, get people engaging. You might be sharing updates on like a day in your life or something a bit more personal if you're running a personal brand. And then your bottom of funnel is going to be like your specific business content. So here's how to get 5 more sales this week if you're an online fitness coach. 40% top, 40% middle, 20% bottom at max. But I guarantee you that if you went and looked at your profile right now, you would be 80% bottom and 10% middle and basically no top. And that's what we were like as well.
Pics.
Yeah, cat pics, random just photos of the beach and stuff. So that's what we would probably recommend right now. Tim, what happens if somebody only posts bottom of funnel content? Like, what is that? What are only educational posts?
Yeah. So how you'll know is your audience will grow very slowly. You won't get much engagement. You won't get many likes because the type of people that are on Instagram to be educated are, usually a lot less than people that are on Instagram to get entertained.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just going to see far lower reach numbers. You really need to spread your content strategy across top, middle, and bottom of funnel just to have an even spread and to attract the right type of people. It is like a funnel in the end of the day. So the more people you bring in the top, the more go to the middle and the more go to the bottom. And then eventually the more clients you sign. So, we're going to give you guys some strategies on top of funnel stuff in a sec. And you might be like, I don't even know how to make that applicable for my business, but you can make it applicable. And what you want to think about here is we're just adding people to the funnel consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Steph, what does bottom of funnel content look like if you actually want to sign clients? You're the queenie of bottom of funnel content.
Just call me Queenie.
Queenie.
Love it.
Queens.
It's going to depend on your industry. There's lots of different stuff that does work, but honestly, people want to see, like, I'll use a fitness coach as an example. I'm a regular purchaser of fitness programs and just purchased another one, actually.
Yeah. Another $5,500.
Shout out to Kitty and Craig at New Strength. I am a purveyor. I think is that the word? Is that the word? I'm a purveyor of fitness and nutrition content, always wanting to get skinny, never really committing to it fully. And if I'm going on your profile and I'm considering buying from you, I want to see people who look like me. And if I don't see myself in your content, if all I see is a bunch of skinny girls getting skinnier, I'm going to be like, well, that's not for me. If all I see is a bunch of really, really, really overweight women losing 50 kilos, I'm going to be like, well, that's not for me. We want to see ourselves, our body types, our
business
likeness,
types,
our business types. This applies across the board, absolutely.
Yep.
We want to see ourselves in your content. So the easiest thing to share for bottom of funnel is going to be like not testimonials, but like before and afters or stories. Like we've done a couple of carousel posts about our clients' results and how they did it and what
Case
they did.
studies,
Case studies, things like that. That sort of content is always going to perform best for bottom of funnel and the more of them you share, like they might look at the first one and go, oh, that's not me. Like we'll give an example. Like we did a carousel about Becca, how she hit a $96,000 a month selling a $47 product. Amazing. Except if you don't sell a $47 product and you sell a, $5,000 thing, you're going to be like, that's cool for Becca, but that's not me. And so the more of those that you share, the more chance people have of seeing themselves in your results, and therefore the more chance that they have of purchasing from you.
Yep.
Lastly, on this topic, before we get into the 5 content types that are working right now, what is the biggest mistake that you currently see with, like, if we looked at all of our clients' content in organic content right now, what's the biggest mistake that you're seeing them all make?
So this is quite a funny one. Actually, someone we used to have in our program. This is an absolute major red flag. We logged on this person's profile and we noticed that they were getting an unusually high amount of comments on every post within 10 minutes. I'm talking like 50 or 60 comments, and the comments were all shit. Like they didn't mean anything. It was like memes and fucking emojis and stuff like that. And that is called comment farming. And what they do is they create an engagement pod and they get all their friends to comment on it. And it just looks so disingenuous and it looks so fake and scarce, and they're just trying to sell in these posts, and then they got 50 or 60 people just commenting emojis on there. It just looks crazy dumb. Like it just looks fake. You're selling your business short by doing that.
You're also doing yourself a massive disservice because you don't actually know what content's performing, because when you look at your analytics, everything looks like it's doing okay, but you don't know. Like I need to be able to look at my content and genuinely see what worked, what didn't, what did my actual audience, not my comment farm, what did my actual audience like, so I can create more content like that. You can't do that if you're comment farming. Like you just don't know.
And the other thing that goes wrong, and usually this is before people start with us in Success School, I'll go and look at their accounts and then I'll be like, oh my God, they're making the criminal mistake. And that criminal mistake is they're trying to sell shit all the time in their content. Like every post is like, hey, buy my program, buy my shit, sign up to my service. This is not what social media is for, guys. If you are selling, sell on stories, get their email address, sell in email, sell in DMs. So you want to sell in private and then just market in public. Okay. This is just the criminal mistakes we see. All right. We're going to get into the 5 content formats that are working right now. Steph, do you want to take us through the first content format?
So the first content format, and maybe the podcast team will be able to put some of these up on the YouTube.
Yep.
But the first content format that is working right now is rankings. So I want you to imagine, because if you are listening to this and you're not on YouTube, this is going to be hard for you to understand. But rankings is effectively, and you would have seen them going around, where you might rank software from A tier to D tier, and you might, and apparently there's an S. I don't fucking understand the ranking system, whatever. But the point is that you would rank them based on like whether you think it's a good AI system or a good, tool or a good tech stack. And the reason that rankings are working so well is because it does two things. One, it keeps you visually engaged the whole time because typically on the screen, they're kind of dragging and dropping the tech stack or the tool, or there's some animations that are coming up on the screen that are kind of, keeping it blurred so that, you basically want to finish the video. All right. Obviously, Instagram is going to reward that because it's getting a long watch through rate. Therefore, it's just win-win-win, right? So rankings are working for that reason. The second reason that rankings work is because it actually allows you to be the authority because you're judging someone else. That places you or you're judging something, ideally not someone else, but that places you as the expert, as the authority. And rankings that are performing specifically very well when they're really specific to the thing that you teach. So like I could do a rankings on messaging of big name influencers as an example. And I'd be like, look, the messaging is crap because this, and I would put that as a D tier. And the more that I've ranked the messaging, the more that you would and explained why I was ranking it that way, the more that you would see that, oh, actually Steph knows her shit. And I would love to learn messaging from her. So it does 2 in 1, which is really good. It's really shareable. It's really savable. And they're working exceptionally well right now.
I'll get into number 2, and that's POV content. So essentially what you can do, this can be B-roll-y type stuff. This can be, like a video of you presenting or doing your thing in flow. And then basically you just want to write POV on it and then some kind of sentence. What Josiah, our content guy, he thought it'd be brilliant for our first ever POV from our company to say, POV, you moved to Thailand to escape the ATO. And I was like, bro, don't put that on social media. That is not what was going on, but he thought it was pretty funny. A couple of other examples for us would be POV, you moved to Thailand with your dogs, and it'll be a video of me and the dogs outside. POV, you run an online business from anywhere in the world. You kind of get my drift.
Yeah. The reason the POV works quite well is because what it allows you to do is, again, you can be really targeted. So you could do POV for like relationships if you're a relationship coach. Like POV, your husband actually respects you and listens to what you have to say as an example. You could do POV for business content, like POV, you live a laptop lifestyle because you designed it this way, da-da-da-da. So you can, if that does go viral, it's going to go viral for the person that it's referencing in the post, right? So It works for that reason.
And number 3 is clipping yourself in flow. So essentially what that is it could be this podcast clip or this podcast right now, recording yourself, could be you speaking on stage, could be recording yourself coaching clients on Zoom, could be doing whatever practice you're doing right now. And essentially what you're doing here is you're giving your prospects a look into what it looks like to see you in flow. Hormozy's doing this really well. Brian Mark's doing this really well. Tim and Steph Frey are doing that really well as well. So go check out their accounts. But this is really good because it positions you as the expert. And that's what you want to do on social media, is position yourself as the expert.
Number 4 are memes and skits. We've been doing a lot more skits recently, and we're really conscious of making sure that the skits that we do are relevant to business owners and people who we want to attract. So one of the skits that we did that performed really well was about having a husband who's an A-type personality in business and like being in entrepreneurship with him. That's going to attract A-type personality couples that are in business, which is great. And so you can definitely do the memes, even though they're memes or even though they're skits and even though they're funny, really what they are is just relatable. And that makes people share them. That makes you likable. That makes people come back. But again, because in organic content, even in ads right now, the most important thing is the text. It's what's being said in the creative. And so if you're saying the word business owner, if you're saying the word husband, if you're saying the word online fitness influencer, that is actually that's who it's going to be getting shown to. So you want to make sure that you are specifically calling out your ideal client while creating these. And the last one, Tim,
is reaction content. So I'm going to give you guys some free game right now. You can find really big people in any niche, watch their content basically on your phone, record yourself watching their content and then commentate over it. If you want to attract people who like that person, you want to do reactions on people who they like. So, Hormozy, Dan Martell, Gary Vee, like those type of people, you want to react to their content as well. This is such an easy format to do. It's basically like watching a video and recording yourself. It's amazing.
You also don't have to be like, everyone thinks that reactions have to be negative. They don't. Yeah. Like I've done a couple of reactions where I've been like, yes, this is exactly right. And then I've added my own spin on it. So you don't just have to take people down. And in fact, I probably wouldn't recommend it straight away. But yeah, Tim's got this really great hack where if you say their name in the thing, it's going to show to more of their followers and fans, which is easy and awesome.
All right, guys. So we're going to get into shit that nobody talks about. I really like this section here. So Steph, I'm going to ask you question 1. Is posting consistently enough to cut through these days?
We had a conversation about this at the retreat, and I thought it was a really awesome conversation. We had a presenter come up and speak. His name's Chris Griffin. Some of you guys might know him. He's a big podcaster. And
not as big as us.
A little bit bigger. And he said that so many people come to him and they say, but Chris, I'm posting consistently. And he laughed and said, yeah, consistently shit.
Yeah.
And I laughed because really, truly, that's what most people are doing, is that they're posting the same shit stuff that doesn't work the first time repeatedly over and over again because they're not bothering to try different things. And so if your content is not working right now, then don't continue posting consistently the same content that you've been posting. You need to try and experiment different things. So posting consistently is not enough. Like I think you could post less and do better content and try different formats and try different things and probably have a better outcome. But you know, I think the benefit of posting consistently is really the fact that you have then created a system that you are running. So I post 5 times a week. This is how I create my content for 5 times a week. Now I know that I can run that system. I can give that system to somebody else to run as well.
Guys, I just want to plug a sheet that I made that you guys can have. So DM me on Instagram, timfrey2_. I've got this tracking sheet where basically you put in all your posts every week, likes, comments, shares, all that type of stuff. And it gives you like engagement rates and it tells you which of your content performs best. And this is all on a really nice Google sheet. So it's a really good way to just get your VA to analyze your content every single week, because if you're not measuring, it's very hard to manage your content and improve on what's already working.
How often do you think you should test and iterate different content frameworks or formats?
I think you should be running 3 or 4 different formats quite consistently, a couple of times a week on each, and then iterate for at least 4 to 6 weeks, just so you have a good run at it and then work out if it works or not. A friend of ours, Dozer, he was running a bit of like a man in the street type content where they would call people and shit test them on their sales scripts. And he has been iterating that thing for a very long time now. And it's got to the point now where he's got a bunch of them that have gone viral. But I think he's been running that for over 6 to 8 months now. And it's gone really viral and really well for him. But if he gave up after 2 tries or 2 attempts at it not going so well, then he wouldn't have this viral format that's working right now. Steph, question 3. What would you say to someone who's posting organically and not getting enough leads and sales?
I would say that if you don't have time to test and iterate all these different formats for 6 to 8 weeks to let them work, and if you listen to this podcast a lot, you probably know what I'm about to say, you should definitely start testing and iterating with ads. I think that organic is awesome. I think organic is like a business card, right? Where if you meet someone in the street and you give them your business card, they'll be like, that's nice, but they're not like clicking a link to buy from you, right?
Yep.
Because there's no link on a business card. And even if there was, they don't know anything about you. They're going to go do their research. Your social media is your business card. It's that thing that people go to figure out if they know you, if they like you, if they trust you, to figure out if you're the kind of person they want to work with. Once their values aligned, they're more likely to say yes to you. And even if they're finding you on organic social media, you want to be remarketing them with ads, because you and I both know that we can follow someone on social media and then literally never see their content again. Algorithms just aren't favoring your followers to see your content. So if you're struggling to get leads and sales, the fastest and most effective way to get leads and sales is through ads. But I still think that organic has a place. I just don't think it has the place it used to.
All right, guys, that's a wrap. We love your feedback. We've had a lot of feedback lately, which has been fantastic. So of the 20,000 listens we get every week, I think we had 3 messages last week, which was fantastic.
That's a PB.
So thanks so much for everyone that listens. We love the feedback, guys. If you got something out of this episode, please let us know. Otherwise, you can check out our Instagram accounts. We post all of these types of content, so you can see what's working. We're going to have probably more of an update on this in probably the next 3 to 4 months, once we're really rolling with our content guy and we're making mad content and going viral and doing all the things. But it's been great, guys. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button, share the show. Don't be a hoe.
We'll see you next week.